Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Wonderfully Hopeless podcast. This is episode 142, I do believe, or 142, I do believe. So, it's been 2 weeks on schedule, yay. And I have finishes, I have cross stitch, I have knitting, I have crochet, and I have a little diamond painting to talk about. But I forgot to grab the diamond painting, so I'll have to do that when I get to that. So, it is official. As of yesterday, there are 30 days until I have students again. Less than 30 days before I have to go back to work. Excited and really sad to see summer go by so quickly at the same time. So, I have been, working through the summer as far as getting ready for next year, but I can do that at my own pace. It's kind of nice, but I gotta get back into a schedule before August. So, what have I been doing crafting? Well, I've really been trying to get my crafting where I feel like I'll be able to get stuff accomplished during school as well. So, I'm kind of trying to create some sort of a system that works for me. So what I'm doing, and I'd grab it for you, but it's behind everything I have to show today. So yeah, that's probably not going to happen. So in my planner, I've been checking off what projects I worked on in a bit, and I'm trying to make sure that I hit all of my projects, hitting all my active whips at least once or twice a week. That's probably the best way to say that. So, we're seeing how that goes. So, yeah, I had a lot of stitching time over the last 2 weeks. We didn't really do anything. Probably should make a trip home sometime soon, but haven't gone home. I had a meeting at work one day. And really, the rest has been mostly crafts time. Last weekend, or not last weekend, the weekend before, my husband and I went up to Peoria, and we had lunch on the river, which is really nice. There's a few restaurants you can do that over there. And then he went to a brewery he wanted to check out, and I went to the yarn and the cross stitch store. So, yeah, there was some shopping being done, and I still need to get some more yarn. Alright, so let's talk finishes first. So what did I finish? Well, for cross stitch, I finished my cloudering design. Now this came out of Just Cross Stitch magazine. I can't remember which one. I have many of them. It's one of, I think it's from a 2015 issue. So I did change out the gold color for DMC metallic, but that doesn't bug me to stitch with as much as it does other people. So I finished that. And then for crochet, I finished Cthulhu. So my husband now has this Cthulhu, and he'll be ever so happy that I've done the video finally, because he wants to take it to work. And then for knitting, I gotta finish all of them. I finished my TGB, and I haven't blocked it yet, so we'll see how big it gets blocked, but I don't think it's going to get that big. So it's more like a scarf than anything else. It looks, and I'm crazy, this is summer, looks pretty good, like this. So I have to wash it and block it, but I'm really pleased with it. I love the colors. The Corriedale's a little scratchy though, so yeah. Alright, so those are my finishes. So what have I been working on? First I'm getting a drink, because I haven't had one yet this morning. I film these videos early in the morning, and I'm going to have to switch that to filming them at night. That's going to be fun. Alright, so for my cross stitch, actually let's show you what it will look like. I am working on the Daisy Fairy, and it is designed by Adam Prescott. So this is what it's going to look like. It is from the 2015 Ultimate Cross Stitch Fantasy book. I love this book. There's so many designs in here I want to stitch. That was just the first one I started. Okay. So, this is where I'm at. I'm also going to be doing a series of Stitch With Me videos with her. So, more or less it ensures I get stitching time, which is kind of a good thing. So I've got the rocks done and her legs done. I have a bracelet there of daisies to put on her. And I have started dress, which is really exciting. So, pretty happy about that. And this is on 28 count. I can just, that's going right back up on the bars, and then will probably be the first thing I craft on this morning. Alright, knitting. So, I'm working on my Grocery Girls shawl. And if I can get it to, it's getting bigger. It's got a really long tail over here. But I'm almost finished with this repeat. My goal is to have this shawl finished by August. Or by the, not August 1st. That would be really cool. I'd like to have it finished by the end of the month. But realistically, give myself an extra couple weeks, I'd like to have it finished before I go back to school. So I've got about a month. But I've been working on this for 2 years. It needs to get off the needles. There's just no reason for it. Well, I've been working on it for 1.5 years. That's more accurate. So that needs to get done. And then we have, trying to remember what's in what. This is my Walk Together. And it kind of got forgotten about a little bit this week. I mean, I did work on it. But I had, the TGV got close enough that I was on a mission. So, I did, you know, like, very little on this. So, it needs to see a little bit more progress. This is another one that it's going to be great to wear this fall. It's out of DK Weight yarn. And the colors are rich jewel tones when I get to the end. So I really want to get it finished so I can wear it this fall. Plus I'd like to go down to just a few less whips. And a few less would be good. Because I keep going. Alright. And knitting doesn't need to end up like my cross stitch where I have 20 billion whips. Next up is my Trillion. I'm enjoying this one. I love the colors. So I put a good 2 inches on it, but at this size that doesn't mean much. This is Knit Picks Northern Lights. So I'm really enjoying working with this yarn too. I just, again, it really came down to I wanted to finish the TGV. So all other knitting projects really didn't see a lot of love. I spent the majority of my time cross-stitching and knitting on the TGV to get my finishes. And then my socks, these have kind of been my travel projects quite a bit. So both socks, find the other one down here. Both socks are back to being stitched in the round. This one, my gusset is is much further along. When I finish the gusset on this one, I'll switch and do the gusset on this one. I'd like to get them finished soon. I keep saying I'd like to get them finished soon. But once they are in the round, they're so fast to do. So there's that. That's all the active knitting projects. I have one other knitting project, but I haven't been active with it. Alright, for my crochet, I have a new start. So, out of the Shawl in a Ball, and this is the Healing Teal, I am making, and I'm trying not to make a mess here, the Virus Shawl. So, I think it is looking rather lovely. This is such a beautiful stitch. And these Shawl in a Ball work great for this. I love the color changes. Yeah. So I'm really enjoying this. I went out and got another ball of this color so that I have over 1,000 yards to play with, but seeing how it's stitching up, we're going to see if I need to or if I'll be making some gifts. So we'll just have to wait and see. And this is a cotton acrylic blend, which is awesomeness. So there's that. It's in my yoga frock bag. I love my bags. Alright. That's all the active whips. Now for the haul. Haul. Alright. Let's start with cross stitch haul. So, like I said, my local L&S is closing its doors. They're just going to a digital store. So, she's closing out of a lot of things. She's trying to get rid of some inventory. So, last weekend, I went and did some shopping. And this is a lot of stuff. Here, we'll set it there. So, I got, let's see, 3 of the Petite Treasure Berries. Golden black. I figured while I could get them, I wanted to grab them just for whenever I needed them, because I, do a lot of modifying of patterns. And then I got 2 of the, it's a little thicker than the blending filament, which again will be great for all my modifications. So I picked those up. And then I picked up some 25 count fabric, because that is something I like to stitch on. So Nice gold sparkly. No clue what I'm going to stitch on these. They're pieces she had left and I wanted to grab some. Alright, this is Mushroom Lagana. And this is a big piece. So, there's that one. I primarily stitch my heights on these on 25 count, but I don't know. We will see. And then this one is Country Cream. So, I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but they were really good price, and to have them in my stash, yeah, they came home with me. And then I got a grab bag. And look at the patterns in that. We've got some Black Ada. This is Vintage Country Drain. White Ada. I think all of this is 14 count. Fiddler's Cloth, 14 count. Oatmeal, 14 count. Oh, here's a piece of 16 count in khaki. And 14 count antique white. And 14 count antique white. Some of these pieces are big enough to do a project. Most of them are small enough. I'm just going to use them for ornaments and card stitching. So, and then the patterns, I really liked this look both ways. So that was cool. And then the rest of these are Heart and Hand alphabet pieces. So I have P for pineapple, N for nest, D for daffodil, and Z for zebra. These are really cute, but I don't know that I'll ever stitch them. So I will probably give them away at some point. So, yeah. That was what I got from there. And then I went to my yarn shop. And I went for needles. I wanted some Circs, the mini Circs 9 inches. Anyway, I went for needles. Yeah. But my husband was at the brewery, so I had time to shop. And I saw that they had an entire wall of the Sweet Georgia yarn. And so I got this one, which is called Rainbow Sparkles. And I think I'm actually going to end up going back. And I want to get purple to match. Because I just picked this up. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. But most of the stuff I do are shawls or socks. Probably won't knit socks out of it. But I could see doing a shawl out of it. Go get some of that purple, or there's a little bit of teal in here. But I'm thinking the purple is what's calling to me. So, I think I'm gonna do that. And then I found the clearance section. And that was kind of trouble. So, the first thing I found was this beautiful yarn. This might become socks. This is La Jolla? I don't know. The colorway is Queen of Roses. It's 100% superwash merino. And there's 400 yards here, so there's enough to do a pair of socks. So I'm thinking socks. So kind of cool. And then I found this, which is gorgeous. And it's Bomb Manhattan. Yeah, Manhattan. And the colorway is Make My Heart Sing, and this definitely did that. It's gorgeous. And it is 30% cashmere, 70% merino. So it's just beautiful. And then right next to it, I found its lovely little friend that said it had to come home, and it's in pink tourmaline. So that's going to be a project. I'm not sure what project right now, but it's going to be a project. And then, because I seem to have an obsession with Leading Men Fiber Arts, I got a mini of their Bend and Snap, which is the colorway this month. And my plan for this is to put it in my blanket. And then, yeah, just want to put it in my blanket. And then I'll give the rest to one of my friends to put in their blanket. So, put this yarn away. Too many cuts. I don't leave my yarn laying around too often. Alright. And then I decided I was going to try a subscription box. So, darn good yarn. I have to say, for all the hype I saw, I was not impressed. So I left everything in here. So you get the little booklet with their patterns. And the patterns, we'll get back to that in a minute. And this was the yarn. This is where I got a little irritated. There's a whole whopping 50 grams of a worsted weight yarn in here. Now, it is silk. It's recycled silk fiber. So, that's cool. But 50 grams is not enough to do much of anything with worsted weight yarn. So that really kind of irritated me. And then I got to the tools. Not worth $20, which is what they say it's worth on here. I wouldn't pay you $2 for this. But anyway, was not pleased. So let's take them out so we can have a closer look. Alright. So it came with a set of knitting needles and a crochet hook. Now, let's start with the knitting needles. So they're straights. Most of us don't stitch on straights. They nowhere tell you the size. So every time you use them, you need to gauge for them. They've got paint on the bottom, and the top is just the wood. No. Yeah, they're just going to be a display piece. I have nothing else to do with that. And the crochet hook. Again, no size written on it. It is, I mean, you can wood burn your logo in there, wood burn the size in there. I mean, come on. I could at least use the crochet hook. I won't because I already have carpal tunnel. I don't need to make my carpal tunnel worse. No. So, that was a huge irritation. That's just completely impractical. Most knitters don't knit that way. So, the yarn is worsted weight roving silk yarn. They say silky, soft, and vibrant. This worsted weight recycled roving silk yarn is our pride and joy. It's crafted and hand dyed with care by our co-op partners in India. There's 75 yards, 50 grams. They recommend knitting on a 4 to 5 millimeter, which is US 7 to 8, and a crochet hook of 5.5 to 6 millimeter, which is a US 1 or a K through K. The gifts are ombre knitting needles and crochet hooks. Packs are handcrafted and dyed. Our favorite Darn Good Yarn purple by our cooperatives in India. And they are a US 8 or 5 millimeter. So I had to go to the book to figure out the size of the needles. And if they're not practical, they're not practical. And they're not worth $20. Just saying. My opinion. Alright, so what do they say you should do with 50 grams? Alright. Make a cowl. And that's got to be the smallest cowl ever. So I'm not really... And the crochet one is basically a cowl as well. So, yeah. No, I'm not pleased. Basically, I'm going to give it one more shot. If the next box sucks this badly, in my opinion, again, my opinion, then I will get a different subscription box. $10, so I mean, how much can you expect for $10? This is true, but you know, if you're gonna, I would have been fine with a smaller skein yarn, but not in worsted weight, because you need more to do anything. I mean, this, if I wanted to do any sort of real project, I would need more than 50 grams. A sock weight 50 grams, I could at least put in heels and toes. So, kind of irritated with that. And the tools, that was just beyond annoying. I was really irritated with that. So, it's a cool concept. I mean, I really like the concept behind Darn Good Yarn, but I'm not impressed. So, basically, if August, which is just around the corner, is like this, then I will cancel and I'll try a different one. So, anyway, will now get off my soapbox on that one. I just thought I would share with everybody else the what it was like. I was really excited, and you know, you see all the ads on Facebook and Instagram, and yeah, less than impressed. So, but that's okay. I've had many a subscription box, and they all have their off months, so there's that. But I really want to try a cross stitch fabric of the month club as well. So I have to do a little more research, because there's a few that I really like, but I'm not sure what one is like the best. So yeah, I've really got to figure that out, because I'd like to do that. So anyway, I think that's it. I need to get to crafting and maybe do some house chores. I don't want to do some house chores. I need to do some schoolwork, and yeah, it's a never-ending list of what I need to do. So, before I go, I wanted to show you a couple things in my office, or my craft room. So, I'm giving my craft room a complete makeover. Let's see if I can get this off the tripod without shaking you guys up. Alright. So like I said, giving my craft room a complete makeover. It's in process now. But I have my projects on the wall and the two on the clipboards. Those two need to be finished. I wanted to try out and see how I liked this idea. But I'm going to put a couple more clipboards kind of around, because this is going to grow. I just have to continue framing. And so I need to do that. But I'm going to put a couple more clipboards, just kind of sprinkle them around. And then anything I finish, like an ornament, can hang on those clipboards. So I kind of like that. And then if I turn around slowly, this was the other thing I did. So basically, I took two cafe rods and I hung them up so I could hang on my shawls, so that my knitting is displayed as well as my cross stitch. And there's actually a crochet piece over there as well. So that's kind of where I'm getting with my crafting space. I had just remembered I had a couple more things to show. I almost forgot, and I don't want to make another video. So, I finished not just cross stitch or pieces for my wall, I finished pieces for my classroom. And I need to take these to work. So, let's show them off. Alright, so my You Shall Not Pass, all finished, ready to go to school. My Lab Safety. And my Total Eclipse. And the awesome thing about these is they're stretched over canvas. And I got the canvases at Dollar Tree. So it just cost me $1. And so I stapled in the back. I went to the hardware store and got stainless steel staples so they don't rust. And then the felt I already had. Now the reason I'm using the felt is I have to take everything down I hang in my classroom. So I can just really easily use the 3M poster strips. Sorry, that is my bunny chewing. And I can just hang these up really quickly. So that was totally awesome. I have two more that I need bigger canvases than the Dollar Tree has. So I need to go get a couple more pieces of canvas because I have two more I want to get framed up before August. And then I almost forgot my diamond painting, which I got a light board, so that helps a ton. But there's that. Now this is something I'm planning on taking to my classroom as decoration. The different owls are a very good classroom decoration for a biology classroom. And I've ordered some more diamond painting. I can't say this is ever going to be my main craft. However, I do have to say that this is a craft that when I just don't have the headspace for my cross stitch for whatever reason, or even following a knitting pattern, this rocks. This is like it reminds me of Paint by Number, but the Zen feel I get is kind of like when I pull out a coloring book. Which I also got another coloring book I wanted to show you guys. Ha! Into the video and I remember everything. So last weekend, I also found, and you're only going to get this if you're, you know, my age or so, vintage or Strawberry Shortcake coloring book with the original 1979 or 1970s Strawberry Shortcake. And the pages are a little bit more in depth. So it's called an advanced coloring book. So basically it's an adult coloring book with Strawberry Shortcake. You can't beat it. And if I have it quickly, I can show you the difference. Now I have an original coloring book from Strawberry Shortcake. And it's never been colored in. So I now have two. And I will probably scan in and print these out to color instead of just coloring in the book. Because while I took the Strawberry Shortcake off my wall, I don't think I can ever take her out of my heart. So, yeah. So, that is actually... Oh, wait. No. One more thing. Oops. So, even though I keep saying I'm not going to start anything new, no more whips, I have caked up my Zen Garden Serenity Silk Single, which is 75% superwash merino, 15% cashmere, 10% silk. And I am planning on starting Reina in the near future. This was my reward for sucking it up and going to the dentist because my dental anxiety is a real thing. Which, for me, is something I'm not used to having to deal with. Anxiety, anyway. But, yeah. So, this was my reward, was a new start on this. Now, I went to the dentist last Thursday, and when I got done, I decided, because I gotta go back. Matter of fact, I have an appointment today, and another appointment on Friday, in which a lot of teeth have to be pulled. I'm not going there, not thinking about it. Yeah. Anyway, so I've decided when I need that distraction, pick me up, whatever, this is going to be my start. So, yeah. So, that is it. I hope you